What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah.
Hey.
Carrie.
What's up?
And Terrence.
What's going on?
For once, we don't have, industry-shaking news to talk about this week, which is nice. It means we can actually talk about games and shit, and a lot of Pokemon stuff, and a lot of your questions in the post office, which should also be very exciting. Before we dive into it all, though, a little bit of housekeeping. We have a Discord where you can chat with us and other listeners of the show. You can join that for free by going to densepixels.com/fans. If you'd like to watch your podcast on YouTube, as I am increasingly doing nowadays, you can check us out there. Go to youtube.com/densepixels and hit the subscribe button while you're there. If you prefer audio podcasts the old-fashioned way, then just search for TNP Studios on any podcast app of your choice. You'll find us. You'll also find the Nerdpocalypse and Black and Black Cinema and the Look Forward Political Podcast. And if you'd like to support us with zeal, just go to densepixels.com/premium. Give us $5 a month. That's all we're asking for. It doesn't seem like a lot to help support your favorite independent media network. Micah, since you have been off for the last couple of weeks, you had a couple games that you put on here that you've been playing. One of which I am, kind of figured you would play once I remembered that you played the Resident Evil games. But one of which I'm a little surprised that you're playing, I will say.
You shouldn't be, Brad, because I'm a God of War fan, and stupidly, I bought this the moment it was announced.
Oh shit!
So I didn't realize.
Did you know what it was?
I didn't realize how milk toast it is.
I was about to say, did you watch
bland.
this? Did you watch the state of play?
I like a good Metroid style maze game.
I know, but this didn't even present well in the presentation.
It's not it's one, it's way too much money. It's twice as much as it needs to be. This is a $30 game. And it is a $15 game that it's just the thing with the game. God of War, Sons of Sparta. The thing with the game is it's fine. If this was your very first, if you've never played any type of Metroid style, Symphony of the Night style, I refuse to use that stupid portmanteau. If you've never played those types of games, then, and this is your very first one, yeah, okay, all right, it's fine. But
that's not.
No, it's not, and it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be a compliment. It is a functioning game. It doesn't have any personality. It's very blah. It's very blah.
And that's a genre where there are just not only so many good games, but so many generational games that have come out in the last several years. Like you should be playing Prince of Persia: Lost Crown before this.
Yes,
you should be playing
Silk
Song. Yeah, before this. You should be playing Metroid Dread before this.
There are so many other much better versions of this game that it's not worth it. So I'm a dummy. That's the long and short of it. I'm also a hypocrite because I remember coming on this podcast and saying, yeah, I'll probably pick up Resident Evil 9 when it's on sale. I like Resident Evil, but I'm not like a hardcore, gotta play every Resident Evil the second it comes out. And of course I bought Resident Evil 9. I'm not terribly far into it. Today was the only chance I got to really play it because I can only play it either at night, which, I'm a bit of a bitch, so I don't do a lot of that. And when I play it, if I play it during the day, then the boys come in here, and that is the last thing I need. He came in here. I was playing it before the show started, and he came in here, And he was like, "What's that?" And I'm wielding a chainsaw. The chainsaw is going through a woman's like torso, and I'm just like, "You gotta go, man. You gotta go." Is that an army game? It's like, no, it is the
In
first.
a manner of speaking, sure.
This is not what you want. So, um,
You don't want your son to see you driving a hatchet into the skull of
yeah,
shambling zombies and things like
yeah,
that, no.
yeah. It's bad enough I let him play games. But no, he can't look at this. So this game is really doing it's really doing what it's set out to do, and that is to take you on a ride. It has two protagonists, and Grace is the inexperienced FBI agent who gets assigned to go to a place that to investigate a murder, and she has like connections to that place. So like fuck her boss. Like her boss just like hates white women because this dude is just like, hey, I need you to go investigate this thing, these murders that happened at this place that you had a traumatic experience from. It'll really help me out. You be doing me a favor. And it's like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, like, and then she's, and you know,
Is this the FBI under the guidance of the current FBI director, I wonder? Like,
I mean,
is that what's going on here?
it's a person of color that asked her to do it, so maybe. And he's like, you know, go, you should do this. It'll help your career and it'll help me out. And I'll look out for you, right? And so you go, and it's, you know, it's super tense. By the way, look, you call me all kinds of names all you want. I don't care. I'm playing it in third person. I'm not playing. I don't like first person horror, yo. I just don't. But the game is like, hey, you should really play this in first person, and then you should play the Leon sections in third person. That's how we want it. And nah, if you wanted me to do that, you shouldn't have gave me the option to switch to third person. So I'm switching to third person. But you go in, and it's it's very much like Resident Evil uh 7 and 8. A little more like 8 because 8 is not as scary to me.
Mhm.
Um but it is very effective in creating atmosphere. And you know, Grace, she's not like sure hand, like she doesn't have a sure shot. So like you can see like her reticle is trembling when you try to like throw like a bottle or something, or it's it does what it sets out to do very, very well. uh it feels like Resident Evil 8. um and then you get to Leon sections, and you know, you got to eat your vegetables before you can have your dessert, right? And the Leon sections, all dessert, man. Like Leon is, it's honestly, man, it it is like Resident Evil 4. Like everyone says, oh, it's like Resident Evil 4. It's like Resident Evil 4. It's a little more like Resident Evil 6, where like you can just like do what the fuck you want. Like what bullets? Whatever, bro. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, all these doctors just have handgun ammo on them. Oh, okay.
That's always been the funniest shit about Resident Evil.
I mean, there's a certain level of
Handgun
lunar
ammo
narrative
in a
dissonance
fucking pot
required.
potted plant. That's weird.
Right.
Like,
Like
what's going on?
there's just a chainsaw in this medical office, guys. Oh, okay. I'll just pick it up and just I'll just fucking use it, right? Like it is, you feel like a superhero. And and it's ridiculous and super fun. And for now, like this is me personally. I'm not really looking forward to going back to the gray sections, but you know, you gotta do it to get to the Leon sections. But
I will tell you, and I don't think this is spoilery, so I don't know that anyone needs to tune out for this. For my understanding is that the first half of the game is much more weighted towards Grace with a little bit of Leon sprinkled in, and then my understanding is that flips in the second
oh,
half of the
well,
game.
then that is all I need to push through so that I can just be Leon and just like giving stupid, well, I think I need a second opinion. Pop, 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 pop. Like it's just it's yeah, it's fun, man. It's doing it's very much, you got chocolate in my peanut butter and you got peanut butter in my chocolate. And it works. It works. It is it's trying to do it perfected the thing that Resident Evil 6 was trying to do. Resident Evil 6 was trying to be all things to all people,
Mm-hmm.
and it failed miserably because it had 4 different campaigns.
And none of them were good.
None of them were good. They're all like bombastically ridiculous, right? And there's very little like horror in it, right?
No, it's an
Like,
action game.
it's very much just an action game.
Yeah.
And
Capcom wanted Resident Evil 6 to be their Call of Duty. That's
Yeah,
why they made it the way that they did.
yeah,
And it was
complete
like,
with
okay.
complete with like like I'm fighting a dinosaur and then there's a helicopter crash and shit like that. Like, what are we doing? So it perfected it. And yeah, look, if you like the later Resident Evils, and if you like the best parts of 7 and particularly 8, and you like the best parts of like 4 and like the remakes, 2, the Resident Evil 2 remake. Yeah, this is a must get, man. This is it's super fun. I dig it.
Cool.
Now, how old is Leon? He's like in his
50s now, right? 50s. Yeah, he's like
this is canonically like it's 30 years after fucking Resident Evil 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He ain't a rookie, but he's and you can see he looks very haggard, very weathered. But part of that is
pull up in a fucking Porsche Cayenne. I'm like,
yeah, yo, got a Hamilton watch on. Like, Jesus Christ, bro.
Saving the world ain't cheap.
Apparently not.
I guess not. Yeah, he's rolling in it right now. Well, shit. I mean, like I said, after saving the president's daughter,
he saved the president's daughter.
Yeah,
like,
he's probably doing all right.
I got a black card, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Right. The least you can do is give me a Porsche. Just give me a Porsche.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad that is. I've really, because I don't play these fucking games, but from afar, I'm happy for people that are enjoying it. Got a game that lived up to all the hype. It seems like that the recent Resident Evil series has been kind of building up to a game of this quality. So nowhere to go but down, I suppose, for the titles in the future. So
Going Capcom, yeah.
Carrie, you bought the overpriced Pokemon Game Boy Advance games. How's FireRed doing?
It's solid. So I haven't played FireRed since it first came out 22 years ago. Insane to think that the first Pokemon remake came out 22 years ago. That feels nuts to me. But no, I had my best fucking early 2000s weekend this past weekend. I played Pokemon FireRed and I saw a boy band. I live in my best fucking white girl life, I tell you what. I got a lemon drop martini and I saw O-Town with Chris Kirkpatrick. And if you're listening and you understand any of what I just said, you can talk to me. Look, Pokemon FireRed, it's the Game Boy Advance remake of Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. And I'm actually, I don't know why I put FireRed, I think out of habit. I'm actually playing LeafGreen. I own the cartridge of FireRed, but I'm playing the LeafGreen ROM on Switch. And yeah, it's fun. These games, and people who have joined the Pokemon franchise really since like the DS era or the Switch era are learning real quick that the earlier games did not fuck around in terms of their difficulty level. Like, the games FireRed and LeafGreen have like the help function, which basically, like, if you hit one of the shoulder buttons, it'll be like, hey, what do you need to know? Like, what's happening here that we can provide some context on. So it does give that if you need that, but in terms of the actual difficulty of the battles themselves, like, I got fucked up by just like some random like bug catcher on my way to Vermilion City that had a Butterfree that just like mollywopped my ass hard. Like, I burned through a lot of items just fighting a random ass, like, bug catcher Steve and his level 20 Butterfree are here to beat your ass wholesale.
What did
Like,
you not? What did you not have the proper counters in your party?
I did not. No, really. Or I would say I had a proper counter in my party because I'm using Drowsy as a psychic type. I'm trying to use Pokemon that I haven't otherwise used a lot of. So my party right now, Squirtle is my eternal Gen 1 starter. You will never be able to convince me to pick Bulbasaur or Charmander. Those are incorrect choices. The only correct choice for a Gen 1 starter is Squirtle, and that's why I have 3 of them tattooed on me. But so I've got a Wartortle, I have a Nidorina. I typically don't mess with the Nidoran lines, but like I've always thought Nidoking and Nidoqueen are kind of cool. So I caught a female Nidoran early. So I have Nidorina, I have a Mankey that I'm using as my fighting type, which is super useful. And I have a Drowsy and I have a Zubat. Crobat has always been one of my favorites. So, and Zubats are, as many longtime Pokemon players know, plentiful early game in this game. So Zubat's kind of functioning as my flying type. But yeah, I had a Drowsy, and Drowsy's a solid counter to any bug type, basically, as much as bug is strong against psychic as well. But yeah, I just got like paralyzed with a stun spore early, and I was underleveled for that particular creature. So you live and learn. You just got to keep going. But it's fun. I'm at the SS Anne right now, and yeah, it's like there are parts of this game that are kind of a grind, and it's been interesting as a lifelong Pokemon fan and player to see younger kids experience FireRed and LeafGreen for the first time in this way and are like, wow, like this game's hard. Like, this game doesn't hold your hand. Like, are the new games just really easy? And it's like, yeah, they are. They are really easy. Your whole party doesn't get experience when you fight something. You know, if you catch a Pokemon, you do not get battle experience for your Pokemon in the same way that you do now. So they were much less generous with experience in general in the earlier games. So it's interesting to kind of go back to that after having put a lot of time into Scarlet and Violet and Legend ZA. But people noticed pretty quick that this version of the game doesn't allow you to name your rival something rude. So if you name him anything like asshole or dick butt or shit face or pussy or anything like that, those aren't allowed anymore. They're not going to let you do that, which I think is a
I
shame.
thought it was just supposed to be like a port of the original
No,
ROM
I mean, again,
of sorts.
because they're prepping to make it compatible with Pokemon Home, so they made a handful of tiny tweaks to the game.
I also heard they put one of the most nonsensical button reset combinations in the game for some reason.
Yeah,
That people are getting hit by by accident.
By accident, yeah. So
Yeah.
on a level, it for lunatics who hunt for shinies, it's really useful. But if you hit all 4 face buttons at the same time, so A, B, X, and Y, it resets the game. And I guess if you have fat fingers, that's easy to do accidentally, and FireRed and LeafGreen have no autosave function. So people are playing for like 5 or 6 hours at a time, not saving once, and accidentally hitting all 4 face buttons. Now you can turn this off. There's a way to turn it off, but I do. It's interesting that they chose to do it that way, and to also to not really. There's no. I don't think they inform you that that's a thing. So that was an interesting choice. But yeah, if you're a shiny hunter, it makes shiny hunting really fast. So because you don't have to then go all the way back to the home menu, close it and restart it. You can just hit all 4 buttons and immediately reset if you're trying to get like a shiny starter to start the game with or something like that. Or shiny legendaries or whatever the fuck, right? So it has its benefits if you're a weirdo, and beyond that, be careful. I guess. But
Well, good.
I've never
I'm
played
having
a
a
Pokemon game. 30
Huh?
years. I've still never played a Pokemon game. Not
Well,
even one.
this doesn't surprise me given who you are as a human. So,
What was the last Nintendo console that you owned? Out of curiosity.
didn't you have a Switch?
That I had
Yeah.
GameCube.
Oh,
Okay.
I think you got a Switch.
I bought my mother like a Wii or some shit because of the controller. Other than that, no, just a GameCube. 20 whatever the fuck years ago.
Have you ever owned a Nintendo handheld console?
No.
You never had Game
Then
Boy?
you would have never had to have. You wouldn't even had an occasion to play.
Yeah, I didn't even
any
have a
Pokemon
Game Boy. No,
games.
I didn't. I think my brother had a
Yeah.
Game Boy. I never bought one. No.
Do you have a Game Gear?
Yes.
Oh God.
I did.
Terrence was rolling large in AA batteries. Apparently,
I don't know how the
when he
fuck I
was a
got
kid.
that. I think my grandmother might have bought it for me. I had a Game Gear. Yeah. Weird.
Kept
Well,
a
Duracell in
Sega
business for a few
CD.
years. You had a Sega CD, but you didn't have a Game Boy.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
feels incorrect.
Hey,
But
look,
I mean, Terrence is also way older than you. Way different gaming generation.
You
I'm
act like you guys are
Asian.
like what? You guys are like 10 years older than I am.
That's a big difference.
I mean,
Especially in gaming, those 10
that's
years
true. That's
specifically
true. Those
are
10 years were a long time.
I
Yeah.
was 15 when fucking Pokemon came out. What were you, 4, 5?
I was 8 when it came out in the
First
United
one?
States.
96?
96,
98 is when it came out.
98 in the
Oh,
US.
yeah.
Also, I was
96 in
17.
Japan. Yeah.
I was 17. I was about to graduate from high school when Pokemon
Yeah,
came
like
out. These two niggas were still playing Pokemon. I wasn't.
Look, to be fair, I did not play my first Pokemon game until I was a grown ass adult. So I did not. I was
even
not
better.
into Pokemon when I was a kid.
I infamously was playing Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon
as a
Snap.
virgin.
Yes. Oh, we know. I wasn't gonna bring that up, but
no.
but we know.
Yeah, by the
So-
time
This isn't it, but the Game Boy Color,
you
I
know.
got this at Too Many Games a few years ago. I don't think this is a real one. But I do have the Pokemon Game Boy Color. And then I still have my original Game Boy Color, because I was at a prime age, mind you, to be completely sucked into Pokemon at 8 years old. But yeah, that was the first game that I owned that was like mine. But like I did grow up playing like my mom's Atari 2600. Like I'm not so
Like it was specifically your mother's? She was
Yeah.
a gamer?
my mom, she bought it because it was a deal. She bought it because there was overstock. She was like, I'll try this. And so she had an Atari 2600 and a bunch of games. I still have all her games. She sold the console at a yard sale like 15 years ago. And I'm still honestly mad about it because she did not consult me before making this decision. But I still have all her games, and perhaps more importantly, all of the boxes and instruction manuals for those games, which I find really cool because I think the very early like mid 80s era of box art, specifically Atari box art, is so cool.
Yeah, those boxes fucking rip.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's a good example of consistent design across a product line, whereas like the NES black box era was kind of garbagey.
Yeah, it's
by
kind of all over the
comparison.
place.
Yeah,
But no, it's like for as garbage as Atari games were, like their marketing was spot on. But yeah, look, like I might be the eternal baby of this podcast, but like I still grew up playing like the old shit. So, but as it is.
Well, this weekend, Terrence and I heard the invitation to come on and slam, and welcome to the slam for the server slam for Marathon.
Fuck that all the way up.
I did. It's okay. I went on quite a journey with this game, and I don't know if Terrence went on the same journey that I did. So, Terrence, I'm gonna let you talk first because I have a feeling I'm gonna talk more.
You probably will. I only played it for about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, Arc Raiders is also an extraction shooter, and it makes me want to play Arc Raiders. But I had played one before. I thought I didn't play one. Remember? Well, it's still out. Hunt Showdown.
I do.
18, whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck. I played that on PS4 like quite a bit.
I thought Hunt Showdown was like more of a survival shooter than extraction shooter.
Technically, I mean, you start out on the map. You have to you use clues to find where like the enemy, the map bosses are. You take them out and then you leave.
Mhm.
I don't know if you pick up like items and shit like that, not necessarily, but you do have other teams
Mhm.
out there trying to do the same thing, and it's PvPvE.
Okay.
So it's kind of similar, but I played a lot of that. Anyway, Marathon, I don't like it. Like, I don't hate it. I don't hate the game. Like, it's Bungie, so the gunplay is fine and everything is
Mm.
perfectly fine. I cannot stand the aesthetic. I kind of hate it. I hate it. Like, I really hate looking at the game. All of the runners are ugly. The UI is ugly. The guns are fine. Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It did nothing for me. It looks fine. I mean, like graphically, it looks fine, but again, that aesthetic just it's gross. It's ugly. Yeah, I played 2.5 hours and I got the loop. I understand the loop. I just
Mhm.
don't like the everything around it. I don't like the aesthetic around the loop. And it's just kind of boring. Like the enemies, not that are the robots
Mhm.
will kick your ass. They will beat the
Yeah.
shit out of you if you're
Yep.
not prepared. They're really tough. Like the ones with the shields are like, come on, man. Like, all right, man. And you don't have a lot of ammo if you don't prepare well. And then, like, if you're fighting them, another team will come in and just like third party you, and that kind of sucks. And that happened quite a bit. I played with a couple teams that were actually like playing it like in an extraction shooter, and then there were some teams that were playing like it was fucking Call of Duty. So they would just run into gunfights. I'm like, that's not what okay, we're all dead. Cool. Good job. Fucking dickheads. Yeah, I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. It's gonna be $40 when it comes out.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't like it because of the aesthetic. If it looked different, I may have liked it a little bit more, but like it's just ugly.
Yeah.
It's an ugly thing. I don't like it.
So this is interesting because for like Arc Raiders, right? Arc Raiders came out last year, had a big moment, and I thought about it. Like I thought about getting into it because it seemed like it was kind of the game du jour. One of the things that stopped me is that I hate the aesthetic of Arc Raiders because it looks boring as shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's got that the Division aesthetic, which is also one of the reasons why I never
Actually
really
really
got
like the Division.
into
Like the
the
Division
Division
is
or
really
like
good.
PUBG. Like so like the funny thing with me is like I don't necessarily have to be completely enamored with like the style of a game, but as long
Yeah, I
as it
don't either.
has
I don't
as long
either,
as
but
it
I
has
just
an identity though, I'm much more inclined to be interested in it than I am with just like blown out post-apocalyptic Ohio, which is where fucking Arc Raiders takes
it's
place,
like,
right?
I don't have to be enamored with an aesthetic, but I'm repulsed by this aesthetic. I just
There's
really
something
I
about Marathon. It
just
just
hate
seems
it,
like
dude.
Marathon seems like it's trying a little too hard to
It
be
is
different.
I will acknowledge that it's very the visual style of the game is very polarizing. It's now I actually quite like it. I like the fact that there's very bright colors everywhere. Like I like the very I think I heard someone call it like cassette futuristic. Like it looks like, you know, if the future was cassette tapes, this is kind of like what you know, like how things would evolve and like kind of like what things look like. So I actually dig it quite a bit. When I first started playing this, I was like, this I've never played an extraction shooter before because like I said, I didn't get into Arc Raiders and I certainly never played fucking Tarkov. Um my experience is like I have no idea what I'm doing. This is really overwhelming. This UI is super busy. There are way too many screens like that are giving you different data points and stuff like that, and it's not clear necessarily what I should be doing. Like I know I'm supposed to go in and get loot and shit. I was like, but like outside of that, like is that all there is like and like what else is there here? And and so that was that was my first like hour and a half with the game. And then I realized like, all right, this is a different type of game. I need to kind of meet it where it is. Started realizing like, oh, okay, contracts are the things that are pointing because there's different factions in the game and they'll give you contracts and that kind of guides your how you should be playing. It's not just about looting, but also like typically you should go into every match with a contract equipped and you want to fulfill that contract. And so that's kind of one of the things that you do. And doing that will let you rank up with that faction, which will unlock different up like skill tree upgrades that you can get for your character. Like each faction has a separate skill tree that you can upgrade your character with and stuff like that. I was like, okay, so that's cool. And I started getting some better loot. And once I started getting some green guns and some blue guns, like they actually felt different than playing with the regular normal guns. They felt more powerful. So I'm like, oh, it's really fun when you have those. And like you can go in there and actually, stand a better chance against the bots and also stand a better chance against the players. Because that was the other thing that I found out real quick, because I remember when Arc came out, there was like the big thing about the Arc Raiders when it first launched is that it ended up being like a very collaborative community. Like even when you were running into other raiders like out there, like people were teaming up against the arcs and not killing each other as much, and it was much more friendly. No, Marathon is not that fucking game at all. Marathon is fucking shoot on sight. Fucking shoot first and ask questions later, because if you don't shoot first, fucking the other guy is going to guaranteed like get the fuck out of here. So which is fine by me, because again, like I was someone who really, like, when I played Destiny, literally half my time in Destiny was PvP. Like I love Destiny PvP. I was really bitter when they kind of took resources away from that to develop this, as it turns out. But like once they stopped giving a shit about PvP, and Destiny was when I started to fall off of Destiny, because that was one of the things that kept me coming back on the regular. And then I started like reading in the codexes that you get in the game, and started like learning about
which there are many and too much.
Right, but
this is way too much more.
This is a Bungie game, though, is the thing. And let me tell you, as far as gaming companies go, as far as game makers go, I don't think there's anyone better as far as like creating a sci-fi world with like really deep lore than Bungie. Because like I said, Halo has that. Like I like Halo's lore, and I haven't barely played a fucking Halo game, but I was like, man, the lore's pretty cool. Destiny has it out the wazoo. Like Destiny has way like arguably way too much, and Marathon's gonna have it too. And so I started to kind of meet the game on its own terms, like kind of started to play the game how it wanted to be played. Like you really have to go in not giving a shit about the loot so much, and just understanding like, hey, like there's gonna be some times where you get fucking murked and you're gonna lose everything, and that sucks, but you come back and you try again. Also start doing some Rook runs. So Rook is the scavenger class character that they added in the game. So the way Rook works is really cool, because normally when you go into a match, even if you're solo queuing, you can solo queue and have your team fill up so that you get paired with other random people in a squad of 3. Or you can go in as a true solo, in which case you play only against other true solos, which is a good way to do that as well. Or you can go in with one of the shells, which are the classes in the game, called Rook. So Rook goes in with a basic loadout. You can't equip him with extra stuff out of your vault. He just goes in with a bog standard loadout. You get dropped in as a solo in trios matches. But the key is that you get dropped in like halfway through the match being over. So you're literally going around picking from the corpses of the other players who were in the match and just trying to scavenge for what little bit you can, and then get out. And the cool thing about it is that like when you're a Rook, a lot of the players, when they see that you're a Rook, don't fuck with you, because they're just like, he's just a little Rook. He probably doesn't even have anything worth taking from him. Now that's not always the case. So sometimes they will do that. But also, like, I had a match where I was a Rook and I saw another team and I was like hiding, but I opened up my prox chat and I was like, hey, there's a Rook here. It's like friendly. Don't fuck with me. Like I can help you guys against the bots. Like that's all. Like, and they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, come on. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, you're not gonna shoot me, right? Like, no, we're not gonna shoot you. And we actually palled around together for a little bit and fucking, tried to take out the central bots and stuff like that. And we extracted together, and that was a cool fucking thing to have happen. Like and like the pressure of the game is in the fact that because you can lose everything, every moment is tense. And this is also true of other extraction shooters. This isn't Marathon specific, but like I really got, so like, because you can lose everything, like Terrence, and because the AI enemies are hard, you can't play this like a Destiny or a Call of Duty.
You gotta
like
pick and choose.
You have to stealth. you have to choose your engagements, because ammo is limited. So if you unload all your guns and you can't find any more ammo, you got a knife. congratulate, good luck. Like trying to do this. And the other thing that I think kind of would put this for me over something like an Arc Raiders is that you do have those shells, you do have those character classes that do have those Destiny-esque unique abilities that kind of govern your playstyle. And apparently, as you get further in the game and you find better loot, you'll actually be able to make like builds that complement different shells and things that they do and stuff like that. And so I really started enjoying myself. I played 5 hours worth to get to level 10 because that unlocked like the next tier of rewards for when the game actually comes out. And then once I got there, it was like, I'm probably gonna buy this game. I was like, and everything's gonna get wiped, so there's really no point in me playing anymore. Like I'm perfectly good stopping here. I'm gonna get the game when it comes out. And then I watched 3 hours of lore on the original marathon yesterday because I knew nothing about it. And turns out Bungie made a really in-depth and intricate sci-fi universe when they made Marathon, which is a game that came out fucking 30 years ago. And
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff is carried forward. Like I remember when the game first got shown off, like that tagline that's at the end of the Marathon trailer. It's like "Escape will make me God," and people were like dragging on that and shit like that. It's a famous line from the original Marathon. Like that's why it's in the game. It might tease towards other things that could potentially be uncovered in this. And so this one from a game that I was more positive about in recent coverage because it seemed like the sentiment on it was shifting a bit from where it was like 6 to 8 months ago to a game that I'm like incredibly excited to check out and get into when it comes out later this week, even as a solo player. Like I said, even if I don't have anyone that I know that plays this, I had a good enough time going in with randoms or just going in a solo match as well, and having fun playing that way. And Terrence, to your point, like I got some matches paired up with people who didn't know how to play the game the right way and were doing some stupid stuff. Like one guy was like going off and he's like, "Oh, look, I found some runners. We're gonna go get them." I'm just like, "That's cool, dude. Me and the teammate are going this way away from that," and he died, which is not surprising. And me and my teammate survived another like 10 minutes before we both got picked off by another team. But I also had like a lot of really great matches where people, like, even with randos, like you come in, you can see everyone's contracts that are on your team, like what they have to fulfill. And so everyone was very cool with like, all right, like we did my contract, let's go do yours over here. And like you ping the map and go do the thing that you have to do. And everyone was pretty cool about this stuff. If you get people that understand that this is not like your typical run and gun FPS style game, you can have some really cool engagements. And I think generally those are the people that are going to stick around with this game long term. I was also shocked to find out. So like obviously Tarkov is on like the extreme hardcore end of this genre. I thought that Arc Raiders was like in the middle, and then this would be like the casual entry. Apparently that's reversed. Apparently apparently Arc Raiders is like super casual, and apparently this is like somewhere in between. Just because this game is so PvP focused compared to Arc Raiders, which if you're not playing trios in Arc Raiders, apparently it's an incredibly chill game. Like if you're playing singles or duos, people do not often kill other players. They will usually work together with you and be cool. So but yeah, this surprise, I'm surprised that I am as into this as I am. Part of it's because it is a new Bungie sci-fi game, and there's definitely been a void in my life that I've had since I stopped playing Destiny. And this is going to do a good job of filling that as well. And look, like for me, if this is a game that like I play heavily for like 3 weeks and then stop playing, and then a couple months later new season starts, and the other thing with these type of games is when a new season starts, all of your loot, all of your upgrades and all that stuff get wiped. Everyone starts back from square one again. And so hopefully being compelled to go back in and do all that stuff.
And something like that with a game like this is like, there's a possibility you just lose it any fucking way when you go out
right
to play it, so it really don't fucking matter.
Well, and kind of the carrots they're dangling too. So like apparently, and it wasn't in the demo because they're saving this for the full game. Apparently, like there's eventually like a raid level zone that you can go into that you basically need high level gear to go into. Otherwise, you're going to get the shit fucking kicked out of you. But it has like this zone apparently will have mechanics that are not quite as complicated as a Destiny raid, because that would be a bit much, but like in that direction of actually having like puzzles and stuff like that that you have to solve within the area and stuff like that, which is also very appealing, because the best part of fucking Destiny is the fucking raids. like if you've ever raided in Destiny, like that was by far like the highlight of Destiny, and I wish that I had a consistent team back in the day when I did play it to raid more often than I did. So yeah, so like I said, I would say that if you did not play Marathon, obviously wait to see how people receive it. It might not be a game you want to pay $40 for. It might be a game that you want to wait till it goes on sale if it's something you're interested in checking out. But if you're willing to kind of meet it where it is and willing to kind of play an extraction shooter that, again, you can't be attached to the loot that you get in these type of games, it might be certainly worth trying. I'm at least relieved to know that it does not seem like it's going to be another Concord, which is the big worry that everyone had, I think, especially after the alpha last year. Did not go very well in terms of how it was received, and the plagiarism scandal that has also since been resolved as well.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. It's just I can't stand to look at it.
Completely.
If it didn't look the way it
understand.
did, I would like it. I would definitely, because I did have some fun matches. I was just like, I don't even like looking at my teammate. I don't like the way the runners look. It's just that aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they definitely have a style and an aesthetic that is not going to beat everyone's taste. That is 100% for sure. But like I said, I will take that over Arc Raiders and their aesthetic that they have going on there. Doesn't mean I won't ever play Arc Raiders, by the way. Like I certainly, like, if I really get into this, maybe that might be something that I check out at some point when it's on sale as well. So, well, that's what we've been playing. Let's get into the news. There was a big Pokemon Direct last week where they had a lot of big announcements. Carrie, I'm going to let you flash through this real quick until we get to the last one, of course, which is the biggest announcement, I would say.
Yeah, we'll get through it. Yeah, I mean, as mentioned, Pokemon as a franchise turned 30 on Friday. 30 years since the initial Japanese release of the original Pokemon Red and Green versions. Bit of trivia for you, the American release is actually based off of the Japanese version of Pokemon Blue, which was the third version that had a handful of updates, mostly with like sprite work and stuff like that. If you're a Pokemon fan, you want to have yourself a good laugh, or even if you're not a Pokemon fan, look up the original sprites in Pokemon Red and Green in Japan. But yes, we got a significant Pokemon Presents. Pokemon Pokopia got a final trailer. And worth noting is the review embargo was up today. And Pokopia is now the highest rated Pokemon game on Metacritic. Not any, like, including any of the core games, including all of the spin-offs. Pokopia, the life management sim in which you play a Ditto that misses its trainer. So that comes out next week, and I look forward to spending a lot of time.
Yeah, I told my wife she might want to look into it, because she's not like a Pokemon fan, but she does like life sim management games. So
I'm going to be a min-maxing psychopath very quickly with Pokopia. Other games that got a look, you had Pokemon Legends ZA and the Mega Dimension expansion. Getting little updates. There's some look, you've got Mega Garchomp Z, which had been data mined already, so we kind of already knew about it, but it gets an official reveal. As well, ZA will have a link to Pokemon Home soon. I was surprised to hear it was not already linked to Pokemon Home, but that's coming. I imagine that will come at the same time that Pokemon Home compatibility comes to FireRed and LeafGreen. They talked a bit about the Pokemon XP and Pokemon 2026 World Championships, which are coming to my neck of the woods out here in San Francisco. So I look forward to taking time off of work next month to do some Pokemon bullshit. Big thing, look, they announced a new game. What I was most excited about is that Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is coming to Nintendo Switch Online. They said in March. So sometime this month, this is coming. This game has been so fucking expensive for so long. So I'm very excited. And look, again, yes, I could have emulated it, sure, but I like playing on hardware. I don't want to play Pokemon games on my PC. That feels illegal because it is. It is. Look, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, which was developed by a lot of I believe Dragon Quest devs at the time. It's a very good RPG. It's one of the handful of Pokemon games I have not played a lick of. So it is a new to me Pokemon game, and I'm very excited for that to hit GameCube on Switch Online. That's a game where if you want a physical copy of that game, you're shelling out hundreds of dollars. And that's if you can get one that isn't scratched to hell at this point. If you guys remember Hit Clips.
As a matter of fact, I do not. I have no idea what this is.
Hit Clips
sounds familiar.
Was a thing. This is where me being the baby of the podcast comes in handy. Hit Clips was a thing where when I was a kid, this is before like MP3 players. It was a little thing, and you like clipped it. They would clip to your clothing or your bag, and it would play like 30 seconds of a song. But it was such a novelty at the time because it wasn't a cassette tape and it wasn't a CD player. It was small. You know, it was this tiny little thing. And you could hear like the chorus of Tearing Up My Heart by NSYNC or Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears or any of these. And it was a very kind of, you know, in hindsight, kind of a kitschy kind of thing. Well, if you enjoyed Hit Clips, then boy howdy does the Pokemon Company have the thing for you, where they have the Game Boy Jukebox, which is a tiny audio player that is made to look like a Game Boy. And then it's got a billion little cartridges that you can put in there. And to be fair, they also have a cute little scene from like where the music is from in the game. But there's all these different Pokemon cartridges, and you put them in, and then it plays a Pokemon song. Now, this thing is going to cost $70, which is too much fucking money for what it is. But I think it's a cute idea. If it was like $40, I would get it because I like a funny little video game music gadget, and that's exactly what this is. And I kind of hope that now that they have the player, that they'll probably end up doing like other cartridges from other games that have other VGM on it. But yeah, it's like the whole Pokemon Red and Blue soundtrack as individual little cartridges. It's really stupid and I love it, and I can't wait for it to go on sale for less than the $70 that they're charging for it. There was
no, you guys will buy anything.
Look,
it's always interesting to see what young people get nostalgic for. I ain't never heard of this shit in my life.
I have younger cousins, so I actually have seen that before in the past.
Yeah,
I'm like the oldest out of my generation by like 10 years. The closest cousin to me is like 36 years old.
Okay, so yeah, Hit Clips. It was it was Tiger Electronics, which makes sense. So yeah, that was a 2000 year, a very Y2K era thing to have. But yeah, I never owned Hit Clips, but I kind of wish that I did. There was a bunch of mobile game bullshit. So what did we get? They made fucking Pokemon Champions, which I guess it's basically Pokemon Champions is like just battles, I guess. That is actually coming to Switch first, but then is also going to be on phones. And then there's updates for like Pokemon TCG Pocket, which I play a truly shameful amount of. That got a new expansion recently. Pokemon Go is coming up on its 10th anniversary. So That's gonna have a bunch going on. Pokemon Unite, which is I guess the MOBA. I don't know. I haven't played it because I don't really fuck with a lot of these mobile games. Pokemon Masters EX, which I have played on and off over the years, that's getting Red and Pikachu, but rendered in the old Sugimori watercolor style, which I think is kind of cute. Pokemon Sleep is a thing I haven't done anything with, but Mew is now available in Pokemon Sleep. Pokemon Cafe Remix is getting an update as well. But the big thing, I think I covered everything else. The big thing is Pokemon Winds and Waves was announced. This is our first truly next gen or current gen for Switch 2 Pokemon game. Looks great. It's clearly going to be a lot with a big open world, with an underwater area to explore, and we got our first look at the starters, and everybody likes the dog. So I have no strong feelings about the starters quite yet. But yeah, so you've got Brout, who's a bird sprout. Brout.
It's an angry bird. That's an angry bird.
It's
right
an
there.
angry bird. You've got Pombon, a Pomeranian fire type, and Gekwa, who looks like a cunty salamander. Or gecko or whatever. But look at that thing's facial expression. Look at that thing, the way that thing is designed, and describe it as anything other than cunty.
Is your love for Squirtle because it is Squirtle or because it is a water type?
It's because it's Squirtle. Like,
Okay,
I don't have
right.
any specific allegiance to any of the types over the course of the Pokemon franchise.
Okay. I usually am a fire type if I ever play one of these things.
Yeah, so like I stuck with either water or fire in the first few generations, and the first time I was like really excited about a grass type starter was Gen 5. I really liked Snivy. I like a little smug snake creature. And I've since picked like Grookey and Sprigatito. You can't give me a weed cat and tell me not to pick the weed cat. But yeah, overall, like looking over the course of the 9 generations, I want to say I've had a very even split as far as fire, water, and grass. So I have no strong allegiances towards typing of Pokemon. Especially not when it comes to starters. But yeah, I'm excited for Winds and Waves, and it's going to come out next year, so we have a long way to wait. So I hope that they take their time and that they release a game that functions upon day one.
That would be wonderful. But again, it's been a while since Scarlet and Violet came out, and they're definitely off cycle for what they've been in the past, which is a good thing. They don't need to come out with a new gen Pokemon game every 2 to 3 years.
No.
You can have a bit of a bigger gap. Also, this is going to be also in up Carrie's alley. There's a apparently very big 1.7 update coming out for the now 10-year-old Stardew Valley.
I'm a big fan of Stardew. I feel like I've talked about Stardew Valley a lot on this podcast. I still play Stardew regularly. I have a standing appointment with a good friend of mine back east to play Stardew Valley on a co-op farm every Sunday. So there's going to be the 1.7 update. There's no like release window for that yet. Presumably sometime first half of this year. Who knows? But the biggest thing was Mr. ConcernedApe, Eric Baroni, decided to add 2 new marriage candidates. And one of them was Sandy, who's the girl who runs the shop in the desert. And I can get on board with that because that feels very in line with marriage candidates from older Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons games. Because there was always like one like difficult marriage candidate where it's like you only got to see them once in a while, or they were hard to get to, or something like that. And I like the idea that you kind of have to like reach her first. She's not just like in town. You can't initially build a relationship with her like you can with every other marriage candidate. And then the other one was fucking Clint. And I don't know anybody who likes Clint. Clint is the blacksmith. He is an incel. He is a weirdo. He closes his shop too fucking early when I've got 100 geodes I got to open. And this motherfucker is off looking in the bushes at Emily's house. And I don't care for Clint. And I don't know why we're getting a Clint redemption arc.
Is this Clint in the image that's at the top of this page?
Yes, he's the sprite.
Okay, Clint looks like JD Vance. That's all I see. So
why is the blacksmith wearing a double-breasted suit?
It's the marriage. It's their marriage. Revealed what they look like when you actually have the marriage ceremony. Clint is look. Sometimes Clint is just not at his shop at his regularly scheduled hours, and that's bullshit. Because again, I spend a lot of time in the mines. I have a lot of geodes that need to be opened, and he just expects me to carry around 7,800 geodes that I've stockpiled from the desert caves. Fucking hate this dude. I will not be pursuing a romance with Clint. Elliot is the top choice. I find it very funny, and I made this observation. So since the original 1.0 version of Stardew Valley released, there have been 2 updates that have added marriage candidates. And the 2 female marriage candidates have been these whimsical, colorful babes. First you got Emily, then you got Sandy. Emily's the kind of like, she's the kind of bitch who believes in the healing power of crystals, and she has blue hair. She's probably involved with several multi-level marketing schemes, and I imagine she is in a lot of debt. However, she is fun. I like her. I can get on board. And then Sandy, who
but I would imagine if you marry her, then any potential children you have are not going to get vaccinated, which is probably not an ideal.
Emily from Stardew Valley is an anti-vaxxer, is exactly the kind of bullshit canon I can get on board with. But then on the flip side, the 2 male marriage candidates are the most worthless pieces of shit on earth. You've got Clint, who is obsessed with Emily, who is constantly complaining that Emily does not pay attention to him. He is a sad sack of shit who, again, does not spend the right amount of time doing his fucking job as the blacksmith. And then you have Shane, who is an alcoholic, who is an angry alcoholic. And having spent 6 years of my life married to an angry alcoholic, I can tell you with absolute confidence, it's not cute.
All right.
So I was really hoping we would get the wizard as a marriage candidate. I think that would have been a lot of fun, but instead we're getting Clint. Because fuck us, apparently. But yeah, 1.7 update is happening, and presumably he's still working on Haunted Chocolatier. And presumably,
but you know what? That he could take literally as much time on that as he wants to. It will be just as successful as it would be if he released it tomorrow. So
yeah, absolutely.
No worries there. Once we found out that Highguard Studio cut reportedly 80% of their staff, the clock started ticking on when Bloomberg's Jason Schreier would have an expose on what happened inside of the studio. And that time is now. So basically, a couple things that we found out from Jason's reporting. Originally, the game started life as a survival shooter, kind of like a Rust of sorts. And then I mean, it's at least a genre that's not oversaturated, I would say. And then once Tencent came in with funding, they were just like, "Fuck no!" Like this is going to be a game that we can monetize that has a hopefully better chance for success than in a niche genre, like a survival shooter. But apparently, that funding was necessary to even make Highguard exist as it is.
Is this us just finding out that Tencent was behind this? Did we know?
No, so I don't know if we talked about it, but I think it happened. I think that news leaked out after we recorded when we first talked about the Highguard stuff. But yes, it was
the first time I've heard about this shit.
Yeah, it was revealed that Tencent was like the majority stakeholder or like funder of the studio, essentially, which explained a lot of how to me of how Highguard ended up being what Highguard was, essentially. So it certainly made me feel a lot less bad about the heads of the studio for what happened. I certainly still feel for all the other folks who went all
It
through.
probably would have been better off staying a fucking
Well,
survival shooter.
and the funny thing is that is because like some of the things that are weird in the game, and again, Terrence, you would know better
Yeah,
than
I
any of
played it.
us.
That the whole
Yeah, because
mining shit. I'm like, that doesn't
yeah,
make a
the
lot of
like
fucking
all
sense. So they kept that.
and the base rating piece
Yeah,
originated as a result of what this game was before, and so they just kind of bolted on other hero shooter
hero
elements,
shit.
yeah, to
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna keep this, and then we're gonna make it a hero shooter.
Yeah,
And you got a horse, and you still have this big fucking map that you can ride around on and do nothing in.
yeah,
Cool.
and in relation to that, apparently there was a kind of a swell of folks that wanted to do some beta testing for the game before the game came out, just to make sure that they could tune it up. But apparently, the studio heads wanted that Apex Legend moment of having that surprise shock release, and so they
Which
nixed any
Jeff
of
Keighley
the
destroyed.
yes, which Jeff Keighley destroyed by making them an offer that a monkey's paw offer that they could not refuse, by featuring
They
them.
could have. They could have refused.
Can you though? Like if Jeff Keighley coming to be like, hey, I want to feature your game for free at this major event, you're gonna give up that level of free publicity with that many eyeballs? I don't think you would.
If
You know what I mean?
with this game, did they know again?
Yeah,
They didn't do any
but
testing.
talking right, but
I
talking
get
to
it.
people
I
in the
understand.
studio, they
I
were
understand.
riding high before that happened. Like
What the
because
fuck
they
did
thought
they
they
do?
thought they had it. They thought they had a hit on
Man.
their hands, basically. Apparently, from some of the folks that um that were let go from the studio, talking about like the feeling inside the studio, um pre-release, like before the Game Awards stuff happened, the word like hubris was thrown around a lot
Jesus.
in terms of how they felt about what the game was going to be what it is. And then apparently, even after the Game Awards thing happened and there was like this negative groundswell being built up about the game, the leadership of the studio encouraged the staff to stay quiet because they were like, oh, the game is going to speak for itself
It
when
did.
it comes out, and
It
it did.
spoke for itself.
It
Yeah,
certainly did.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Timid whisper, because
Yeah.
it just fucking sucks.
the developers are riding high, right? Like it's like it's they're the father of this little child they have, and they gave their kid like a really cool name with cool initials, MVP, thinking, oh man, my kid, he's gonna be so athletic. I'm tall, and like sports, and we like sports, and we're gonna get him into sports, and he's gonna be a real sports guy. And I'm forward thinking he's gonna be a sports guy, and his initial's gonna be MVP, and they're gonna chant MVP. And then, surprise, like he sucks at sports. At sports. It's like,
Like
oh
father,
shit.
like son. Like
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh, yeah, this
he
is
can be
definitely my kid.
he can be the MVP of the law firm when he gets
There you go.
older.
There you go. Fucking top dog law, whatever.
But if you're like, oh man, that's all the Jason Schreier I needed this week. Oh, don't worry, we got more Jason Schreier coming at you, because he also talked to folks from Bluepoint Studios, Bluepoint Games, to get some dirt on some of the goings ons at Bluepoint, which we talked about last week, which Sony decided to shut down despite not actually putting out a game from the studio after they acquired them. We came to find out that apparently, so like after the God of War uh live service game was shut down and Bluepoint was pitching Sony on things to do, one of the things that people have been begging for, that they're like, this would be perfect for Bluepoint Games, is a Bloodborne remake, because currently Bloodborne is only on PS4. It runs at 30 frames a second. It looks fine, but like obviously it could be much better with a touching up on the PS5, much like we saw with like the Demon Souls remake. Turns out we weren't the only ones to be in that line of thinking. Bluepoint also said, hey, this would be an awesome thing to do. We did Demon Souls. It came out really well for all involved. This would be great. Sony agreed. Apparently the force that was keeping that from happening is From Software. They have not wanted to do a Bloodborne remake because it's something that apparently Miyazaki wants to do himself. Apparently like Bloodborne is by some accounts like his most cherished game that they put out so far, and he I think wants to eventually get around to
He
doing
just
like a
doesn't
remake
want
of that game,
anybody else
but he
touching
wants to
it.
be the one to do
Okay.
it. And Sony could, from my understanding of how this works, Sony could be like, fuck you guys, like we published the game, so like we're gonna remake it, but they want to keep a good relationship with Miyazaki for obvious reasons, because they want to continue to work closely with From Software to make sure that their platform is a destination for the games that they put out in the future. So for all the people that have been very upset with Sony, thinking that Sony was the reason that we have not gotten a Bloodborne remake yet, turn your ire towards From Software, because apparently they are the reason why we have not seen this yet.
There's a group of people that have done like a PC up-res of it, and it's running at 60.
I mean, honestly, that's probably how I'm gonna end up playing it.
Yeah, I'm about to say you could eventually. I'm pretty sure your PC is strong enough to do it.
Yeah,
yeah. This runs at 60, like 4K. They say it runs really well. It's still in development, but it works as is right now. I think you just need the game.
Yeah. I have the game. I own the game.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
go. Yeah. So I have I mean I own it on. It's in my PlayStation account. So one of these days, I don't know if it works in that regard. Like I wonder if
that's what I'm saying. You need,
like a disc,
maybe.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Or we might have to sell.
I can't remember. It's I can't remember what the project's called. You can Google it. But yeah, it's
look. I'm as I stated, I'm not opposed to sailing the high seas every now and then. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Finally, a bit of bad news. AA game publisher Nacon, who is a French publisher that has made a few games of note. Probably of most note to me was the recent RoboCop game that I waxed poetic about, that Mike also played and enjoyed last year. They have announced that their majority shareholder failed to make the partial repayment of the bond loan that they took out to its holders, and therefore the studio has filed for insolvency as a result of this. And they said that they are now going to look to see all solutions that they can to keep up and running. But as of right now, it's not looking very good financially, because their primary shareholder owns literally 3/4 of the company, and it seems like their primary shareholder might be broke, which would be bad. This stinks. I feel like we're weirdly in a. I don't want to say it like a renaissance of AA games, but there's a lot more interesting AA games coming out now than I can remember that in the last 20 years, give or take. Like the PlayStation 2 was like probably the golden age for AA games, but we've seen some really interesting ones come out from a variety of different studios. Nacon also published a couple of the recent Terminator games, some of which have been pretty well received, as well as Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, which is less well received, and the recent Styx Blades of Greed, which is a game that I know the Styx series has a cult following. It's like a stealth game where you play as a goblin, but it's somewhat of a spiritual successor to like the Thief series that a lot of people like.
All right.
So. Apparently, this latest one is pretty decent.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah. So here's hoping that Nacon is able to stay on their
and
feet.
they also make good controllers, which what the fuck,
man? That's right. That's right. They came out that one fighting game controller that I almost picked up that looked really cool for the PlayStation back when I had that, which had what was the gimmick with that one? It somehow it had like interchangeable buttons that you could pull out like the button stack and replace them with something else, like a fight pad or something. I can't remember exactly what the gimmick was, but I remember that they've come out with some good fighting game controllers that they put out there. So So they're putting out accessories too. So yeah, like I said, that's a bummer. It seems like through no fault of their own, other than I guess they picked not they picked the business partner, but that they have someone that owns the financial stake in their company that seems to be irresponsible. So it seems like Nacon's catching a bit of a stray here in this regard. So we shall see what happens with that. It is now time to take a trip to the Dense Pixels post office, where we have been for a couple episodes. If you are in our Discord, you can ask us a question in the post office every week. We will answer them on the show. Let me figure out where we need to start.
Film Wanderer.
Film Wanderer says, what name a franchise that you loved dearly growing up, but if a new version of that game were to be released now, you would not touch it today?
Harvest Moon.
Okay. Well, yeah, because of the publisher situation.
Well, I mean, it's both the Harvest Moon name and then Bokuto Monogatari. So what was previously known as Harvest Moon, currently known as Story of Seasons. It just hasn't been good in a long time. I haven't even they did remakes of some of the better games. They did a remake of Friends of Mineral Town a few years ago. They did a remake of the GameCube title like last year, 2 years ago, something like that. I didn't fuck with any of it. And God, I loved those games growing up. I played the fuck out of those games on Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. They haven't been very good. They haven't been good in a long time. And I tried so hard on the DS and the 3DS, and Brad, you were working with me at the time. You saw me buy these games and then be like, eh. So, that's probably it for me. Is I have such fond memories of those early Game Boy and Game Boy Advance Harvest Moon titles, and that's not something I can fuck with anymore.
I don't know. I had to go all the way back to the early 90s.
I've got an interesting one. Because there's some I don't know. I think saying there's scuttlebutt about it is probably too strong a term. But there's speculation, especially considering the recent success of the game they released last August. But if Konami were to put out a Kojima-less Metal Gear, like a new Metal Gear game, I might have real reservations about revisiting the franchise without Kojima.
Oh no, what's the point?
Right.
As
Metal Gear Solid 5 was Kojima-less, was it not?
It was. Yeah.
And guess what? Guess we didn't play it.
Yeah, Karen, what? 90s?
Yeah, man.
When did Metal Gear come out? 96?
What? Metal Gear Solid?
The first one, yeah.
98 was when that came out.
98?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Again, I'm trying to think how old I was when these games came out. I'm like,
I got another one for you. And this might defy the question a little bit, because it's not to say that I would never play a game from this franchise that came out, but I am certainly less inclined, based on modern history, to check out new Final Fantasy games than I used to be in the past.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I see. I see what you mean. I am not that person, but I get it, because they're kind of.
I mean, the most I mean, if you don't count 7 remake, which I guess you kind of have to, but beyond that, the newest Final Fantasy game that I played was 13. So,
oof.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus.
That's not even a good one.
No.
I don't
good
know.
Music. Good music, but
mine would probably be some early 90s Genesis bullshit.
What?
Toe Jam and Earl or some shit.
Look, Toe Jam, the latest Toe Jam that they did, which was the one that they did on Kickstarter, I thought it was pretty good.
Look, as Terrence is wont to say, you like it, I love it. I that shit again.
I'm trying to think of any
Battletoads. I'm not playing Battletoads.
Did you-
I
did
played
you-
the latest Battletoads.
Did you really love
Didn't.
Battletoads as a
That's what I'm
kid?
saying. I didn't
Oh,
love.
Yeah,
games
did
that
you?
I had to love?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's really nothing that I can think of
something
that I
you were
would like
fond of,
really,
yeah.
really love that I wouldn't, because like Streets of Rage is one of my
Yeah,
favorite
Streets of
games.
Rage
And
4
that shit was fucking amazing.
fucking incredible. like if Konami were to put out a new like Turtles brawler belt scroller tomorrow, I would absolutely check that shit out for sure.
And the Shinobi game that came out last
Yeah.
year was fucking amazing. But yeah, I can't think of anything.
It's
Like,
an interesting
when
question.
I was growing up, games were good. So I don't know what to tell you. So these remakes, yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Couple. Well, Johnny asked who we're picking as far as the Pokemon.
I
starters
don't
go, which
know.
we answered.
I
Yeah.
don't know yet. You know, yes, Weedcat Sprigatito was kind of the standout in Scarlet and Violet. Understandable because it's a cat that looks like weed and then evolved into a cat that looks like it smokes weed. Yeah, Pyro Pomeranian, Pombon is kind of, I think, the early favorite for a
Mhm.
lot of folks. I think it's also a large part of that is due to this is the first time that we've had a starter that is obviously a dog.
Mhm.
We have not had that before. We've had cats, we've had lizards, we've had birds.
Had a
we've had-
pig once, right?
We had
Mhm.
pigs, we had turtles, we got fucking frogs. The closest thing we've had to a dog was Poplio, which is a seal, which is dog adjacent, but not a dog. This is a dog. This is a fucking Pomeranian. This is a little yip yap dog that white women named Pamela keep in their purse to sneak into the grocery store with. So, obviously
you
people
do
like
that,
the
by
dog.
the way. If you bring your dog like in a grocery store, I saw that shit the other day.
I see it all the fucking time out here. I see people
allow this
bringing their
shit?
dogs around the mall. They don't, but people fucking do it anyway. People do it, especially in Southern California. They're like, it's my emotional support animal. It's just like, cool.
You
know
live in
what? You should-
fucking California. What the fuck kind of emotional support do you need?
You need
It's
some more
snow
people
on the
like
ground.
this. Like,
There's snow on the ground right now.
That's what I was saying. Maryland is going to experience all the seasons in a week here this week. We got winter
No,
today.
it was like 55 degrees Saturday, and
Yeah.
Right, and it's going to be
snowing today.
75 on Friday, and as Micah just stated, there is snow on the
There
ground
is
right
snow
now.
on the cars outside
Right.
right now.
Yep.
It's just very irritating. You know.
I don't miss that.
Cam also asks, Power World fans sure seem to think that without the game, the new Pokemon games wouldn't look so good. What say you people? What
That's
the fuck
bullshit.
are those people talking
That's
about?
bullshit.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's bullshit. You
Having
know why
never
the games
played a
look so
Pokemon
good is
game,
because
I
this is the
agree. I don't know what the
first.
fuck.
This is the first set of Pokemon games that is developed for the Switch 2. As opposed to them trying to very much stretch the limits of what the original Switch could do. And Legends EA I thought looked good, but also had to still be developed with the original Switch in mind. And is of course limited to being in one city. So no, that's bullshit. Those people, I want to know what those people are on so that I can have some. But
I don't understand. So Power World fans seem to think that without that game, the new
Without
Pokemon
Power
game. So Power World fans think that Power World looks like garbage?
No, they think Power World basically when Power World came out, the consensus was, holy shit, they made HD Pokemon. Why can't Game Freak do this? And so
and it boils down
so
to
they're
a
saying
difference in processing power between a typical gaming PC and the original Nintendo Switch. Like this is the first generation of Pokemon. Winds and Waves is the first generation of Pokemon games that is specifically being developed to harness every single thing that the Switch 2 can do.
Okay, so Power World,
but they've had 30 years to make a game that looks like up to snuff.
Well,
with
but as we
technology that
discussed,
they've had.
It's all
and
been
they have never
limitations
done
of
it.
hardware.
Limitations of hardware and limitation and aggressive development cycles, because
Yeah.
like the knock forever is like on Game Freak was like they can't make a game that looks good, and then they debuted that game that they're making at like the Xbox thing a couple months ago, and people were like, holy shit, like Game Freak can make games that look good, and Game Freak's like, yeah, see, when you give us time, like we actually know what the fuck we're doing here, so like maybe give us more time to make these Pokemon games. But the unfortunate thing is that because the Pokemon company and because of Nintendo, there's a level of churn that's
Yeah.
expected because they want that reliable fucking 20 million seller on the books every 2 to 3 years. And like I said, when you give them better hardware and when you give them a little bit more time to cook, you get Winds and Waves, which looks like the best
Great.
Pokemon game so far. Now, will it run well? We'll see. But
We'll see.
yeah, but it looks good. Evan asks me, with the start of the F1 season, what are my predictions? I really have no clue going in who's going to be the top team. Yeah, F1 starts, the regular season starts this weekend. The thing about this season is that there is brand new engine regulations this year, which they do every like 5 to 8 years, where they completely change like how the engines are designed and the different features and stuff like that, and how the cars are designed and stuff like that. So when that happens, there's often like a shakeup of who the top teams are going to be. So like in the two eras ago, Mercedes dominated. Then in 2022, we had new regs come in, and Red Bull dominated, and then McLaren towards the latter half, and now we have brand new regs this year. So I don't know who's gonna be on top. A lot of the drivers don't like the new cars, but that happens every time that they change the cars because they get used to driving the cars as they were, and now they change them again. So we'll see what happens. What I can tell you is that based on how things have gone in the preseason, I can probably say with certainty that Aston Martin is going to finish dead last, because they are apparently having a hell of a time developing the engine for their car with Honda. And this is the first time they partner with Honda, and they're the only team that works with Honda. And during like the practice sessions that have been going on for the last couple weeks, they've been consistently like 3 to 4 seconds behind the rest of the teams. Which, if you're that far off fastest lap pace with the rest of the field, you're essentially racing in a different series at that point. So, so things do not bode well for Aston Martin. And Aston Martin, in fact, has already announced that they are going to be retiring from the Australian GP this weekend early, because they still don't have the car fucking sorted out. So they're saying rather than run the full race and get embarrassed, they're going to probably pull the cars in after like 15 laps and call it a day. During Australia,
You just quit the fucking race
if you want to.
fuck it.
I mean, it's generally inadvisable to do that, but sure, if you don't want to run down your engine,
Why show up at all then? Do you have to show up if you're gonna just run like
I think
I don't remember laps
I
this
think
race,
you do have to show up, and I think you do have to at least run in. I think you like at least have to, if your car is capable to start the race, I think you have to start at least. But once you're in there, you can stop for any reason that you want to. Now, again, typically you're stopping because you have a failure in the car of some way, shape, or form. But also, like, so the way that F1 works is that each team is only allotted a certain number of motors per season until and if they go above that allotment, they suffer like grid penalties in the next race. And so, and obviously, like, the motors only last a certain number of miles and laps and stuff like that. So if you know that you're gonna like get the dog shit kicked out of you in a fucking race, it's better to it's sometimes better to save to save the wear on your engine, than it is to actually finish running the race when you get lapped 3 times in succession. So, which seems like that might be happening. So we'll see. Like I said, new regs are always fun because, again, like, it shakes up the table. I mean, we'll know in a couple weeks like who those standout teams are and who's going to be struggling. But right now, ignorance is bliss for everybody. So we'll get to find out what happens. Oh, which reminds me, I got to fucking sign up for Apple TV Plus now. Which great. Ricky says, seeing as FireRed and LeafGreen have been released on the Switch, what are tips and tricks you guys recommend for playing it? Still the original Red and Blue that I played in Game Boy Color every once in a while, but I've never played these versions. Carrie, any other tips for Red and Green or FireRed and LeafGreen?
Just understands that, like, they're essentially just nicer looking versions of the original Red and Blue. And also, you can't do like the missing no glitch anymore to duplicate a bunch of items. So, you know, what a time that was to be 8 years old and learning during recess about glitches in the games that could duplicate items in your 6th spot in your inventory to get a billion rare candies to power level your team. um it was a better time for the world at large. Look, I don't really have anything. Be prepared, understand that the games are not easy, and but if you've been playing the original Red and Blue, like, you're fine. You know what to expect.
Film Wanderer asks Micah, favorite Leon S. Kennedy one-liner.
So there are a couple, and they're all from 4. Um, in the beginning of 4, when Leon is being driven to that little village, he's talking to the guy, and the guy's like, he's like, Leon's like, I'm here to save the president's daughter, right? And the guy's like, what, all by yourself? He's like, look, I'm sure you boys didn't just tag along so we could sing Kumbaya together at some Boy Scout bonfire. Then again, maybe you did.
Like, Nick, what does that mean?
What? What are you talking about? Second one is very simple. It's when you're in the village and you have to kind of like wait it out, and everybody leaves. He's like, where'd everybody go?
Where'd he go?
Bingo. The fuck? Yo, what?
They trying to kill you. These niggas are trying to cut your head off.
And
Again.
and the last one is when Salazar, you're talking to Salazar. He's like, Salazar's like, I've set my right hand to dispose of you, and Leon's like, your right hand come off? yo, yo, like Capcom is like, Leon is the poster boy for the Capcom, the typical Capcom protagonist, which is a badass dork.
Yeah, him and Dante.
Yeah, him and Dante, man, like they're badass dork show. Like, it's just,
I said a couple weeks ago, that's all you need, man. Sometimes that's all you need. Like an
Just
80s action hero, just saying stupid shit.
saying
in the most
dumb
ridiculous fucking situations.
Giving Kevin Sorbo-esque line delivery. I fill your dark soul with light. Like, all right, bro. All right.
Oh man, that was a clap.
Oh my lord. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of Capcom, I did play the Pragmata demo.
What did you think about that demo? I played it too.
I thought it was really fun. My concern with Pragmata is the same concern that I have with every weird Capcom game, because like, you know how Capcom, like, they have their series and then they have their weird shit. Like Exoprimal was like weird Capcom. Fucking Kunitsugami was weird Capcom.
Kunitsugami's pretty good though.
Kunitsugami is pretty good. So this is weird Capcom. My biggest fear with weird Capcom is, will it be as fun in hour 12 as it is in hour 1?
That's the problem with Exoprimal.
Right.
Exoprimal was really fun for a minute.
Right, and then it gets repetitive.
60 minutes, and then that's it.
Right. And so like the gimmick with Exoprimal with Pragmata is a third person shooter where you control this like spaceman inside of the space station, but he also has a little android girl that rides around on his back. And the way that the game works is like, when you're fighting enemies, when you aim down sights, this little hacking thing comes up because the little android girl could hack the enemies. And so like, you have to play this little hacking mini game to break the enemy's defenses, and then you can use different weapons and shit like that to attack weak points and things of that nature. And that's kind of the combat loop. And again, it's fun. At the end of the demo, you get to fight a fucking Ed 209, and that's a pretty fun boss fight. You have like a lot of you have a lot of like mobility and shit like that. I'm like, wow, this is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. But again, like, will it still be that fun in hour 12? And that depends. Like, if they keep giving you new abilities and if they keep giving you like new weapons to fuck with, then yeah, it might be. But my worry is that like when you're in the demo, like, it looks like you basically have like 4 weapons that you can cycle through, and they all have very specific purposes that they use. And from the UI, it seems like that's all you're ever gonna have is those 4 guns. So
Did you play the Vampire Survivor card game?
Oh yeah, it's very
Demo?
good.
Yeah.
It's very good. I'm gonna play way too much of that game when it fucking comes out. This is a dangerous time for me because I have fucking marathons coming out that I'm getting into. Slay the Spire comes out in early access this week. Slay the Spire 2. So
No.
that sucks. And then I think Vampire Crawlers is supposed to come out in like May or something. So
yeah, I played the demo. I was like, this is the first card game that I actually like.
Yeah, because it's fast. Because it's fast,
really
and
quick.
the way the game is designed is they do not want you to think too long about which cards you're playing. They want you to look at the mana cost and just fucking blitz that shit out.
Yeah.
Basically.
Now the funny thing in the full game, you're gonna have like 3-man teams, right?
In
You can have up to 3 people in your party.
Oh, I could see that.
No, it is going to be up to 3 people in your party where you have.
Well, that's pretty fucking. That's pretty fucking cool. And Carrie, on top of that, like not only do they have this like deck builder card game, but they also like the way the gameplay works is like an Etrian Odyssey like dungeon crawl in Vampire Crawlers, where you're like going through the map and having to literally like turn your character's perspective around and shit like that. And again, like I can't wait to find all the secrets that game is going to have. The way they're transferring the powers from Vampire Survivors, like with the different weapons and shit, is also very interesting. So, yeah, that game is going to take up way too much of my fucking time, and I'm not looking forward to it. But it's going to be an amazing Steam Deck game. That's what I'm going to probably play it on exclusively. Mark asks, "What is the silliest / worst bad decision you've made when you thought you had money to spare?" Definitely not speaking from experience, where I find out after that I indeed did not have as much to spare as I thought. Thanks, life.
Have you ever heard of the concept of choice paralysis?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can't answer this question.
I can distinctly tell you mine. Back when I was 18 and dumb. This is a very key point to this part of the story. So my first car that I owned was a 1989 Geo Spectrum that I bought.
Ooh.
I thought you were about to say a Geostorm.
I mean, look, you about me and you, Brad, you about to be brothers.
Yep. So I bought a Geo Spectrum. I liked that car a lot. It was a little 2-door coupe. The thing I distinctly remember about it that was weird is that it did not have a headlight and windshield wiper like levers. It had instead like buttons built in for those, like on the top of the dash, essentially. So you had to literally like flip out and flip and flip these buttons to turn the headlights on and off, and to turn the wipers on and off. And that it was a good little car. It was a reliable car. However, an opportunity came across that I could not pass up, where I bought a friend of mine's kind of beat to hell Toyota T100 truck, because I had eyes on tricking it out and putting like a fucking killer sound system in it and completely refurbishing the interior.
What year was this?
This was a 80, I believe it was a 90 or 91.
No, like what year?
Oh, this would have been 02.
Okay,
03.
I was gonna say this sounds like
Did My Ride come out?
That was a Y2K era show.
Yeah,
it wasn't after that.
Well, I never watched Pit My Ride. I never watched, but instead I was badly influenced
you're right.
by my friends.
It was 2004 to 2007.
Okay,
so this is pre-Pimp My Ride.
So yeah, so I had designs on buying this truck and getting all sorts of stuff to fix it up, and I of course started spending money on the things to do that. My lasting memory of this truck was that the starter generator in the truck did not work very well, to the point where for literally the last 3 months that I owned it, you literally had to have someone hold the key in the ignition start position while I went out to the truck and actually hit the starter generator with a pipe to get it to turn over and start the truck.
Jesus.
Shockingly, I met my wife while I owned this truck. So somehow me owning this truck was not enough to put her off from marrying me. So I do very much appreciate that
So
aspect.
was she holding the key in place while you was banging on the
Sure,
fucking
yeah,
drum?
absolutely. Absolutely. It'll shock no one to learn that we usually took her car when we were
Yeah,
while I
Well,
owned
you
that
gotta
thing.
start your car like an old prop propeller plane.
Yeah. You'll be shocked to learn that after 6 months of owning this truck, I had about enough of that, and I bought a brand new 2003 Hyundai Elantra when I was 19 because I had a job that I could actually fucking afford the payments on it. And I traded that truck into the dealership for $1 because I was more than happy to get rid of it. So
Incredible.
$1?
I thought getting rid of my first car was rough. My first car was a PT Cruiser. It's the car I was driving when I met you, Brad.
Yeah. My mother-in-law had a PT Cruiser when I met my wife as well that I drove around a little bit.
The
So
timing belt snapped, and I had to have good old Leb Danson drive me to work for a week.
Riding around in a sexy hearse.
I mean, look, I liked that car a lot. That car was a really good gig car. I stand by it. Just thinking of Pimp My Ride now. It's just like they would just put all sorts of dumb shit in people's cars. They were like, "You want an aquarium and a DVD player?" It's like, why would you need that in your car?
Like, no, I don't. Can you just fix the
They
engine?
put a fireplace inside a fucking 1987 Chevy Blazer. They put a bowling pin
irresponsible.
polisher inside an Acura Legends. Like, why?
It'll by the way, it'll shock you to learn that the workmanship on those cars was not always the best.
It was all
Yeah.
fake.
Not good.
It was all fake.
Right. So I'm not even gonna make you guys tell embarrassing stories. I think my story
I can't
I
really
think my
think of
story
one.
told enough for all of us.
I feel like, it was basically like anytime in 2025, in the back half of 2025, that like I did something nice for myself immediately after I had like a significant thousands of dollars bill for either myself or in one case my cat, which I'm still paying off. But yeah, it was like, oh, I bought myself like a nice new vinyl box set from, Fan Gamer or something like that. You treated myself to a massage, and then like I had an emergency room bill like the next week. Or the HVAC went out. I had to get an HVAC replacement. So yeah, anything I purchased last year I think would have fallen under this.
Let's see here. Beach Boy says things are getting crazy out here. Can't wait for this week's look forward. I can fucking tell you that with everything going on right now. So I ask, what fictional punishment or trial should we bring into the New World Order? I just finished Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, and I love the trial by combat aspect. I would love a trial of 7 battle with the current president and his top cabinet guys and our best Democrats. What say you guys? Any movie, show, or video game that comes to mind? Like Thunderdome is the go-to here, right?
Yeah,
Running Man.
Oh
Yeah.
Political running man. Oh shit.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that.
I
They
think
can't
that's
run.
the answer.
Ain't none of them motherfuckers in shape.
Now, obviously, like you want
can't
them
run. He lifts.
You want them in the Running Man game. I also want them while they're in prison, like while we're waiting to get them in the game, to have the explosive collars as well, so that in case they even try to escape, that ends really quickly.
All of that. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's probably
Go to jail if you want your freedom. You got to do the Running Man, and I know none of you motherfuckers would survive. And then all of the people that are chasing after you are liberals. Fuck it. We're all pussy, right? So you'll be able to survive, right?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Hate these niggas, man. that's my answer.
Make them run through a gauntlet of each and every like self-segregated minority town, right? Go to the black area and go to the brown area. Hell, go to the fucking Koreatown. Yeah, just yeah. I want there to be levels in this. Make it as video gamey as possible.
I also don't mind the like the Supermax prison from Face Off as well. Like that also might not be a bad way to go. Yeah, the magnetic boots. If any of them get out of line, they get fucking lobotomized. So all good options in my eyes for sure. But yeah, like I mean, Thunderdome works. I think the Escape from New York scenario also pretty decent.
Feels like we're not that far from
Yeah.
that.
Beach Boy also says with Resident Evil 9 dropping, they decided to replay the old ones. And they forgot how scary intense these games are. I decided to play on assisted mode. I guess this is me admitting that I'm old. I'm 32. Apparently that assisted mode, I'm assuming it probably gives you more like aim assist and
Yeah.
Oh, the remakes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What the
Yeah.
hell that shit is.
All
right.
Yeah, but he says, this is me admitting that I'm old, but I'm 32 with a full-time job and 2 kids. I realize my nerves are just shot now. What was the moment in gaming or life that you realized the line, I'm getting too old for this shit, was true? This is funny for me because I'm following the opposite path right now. As I get older, I'm playing more difficult games, it seems.
Like
It's funny. It's funny how different midlife crises manifest.
That's right. Instead of going out getting a Porsche Cayenne like Leon Kennedy, I'm going to play through the software catalog.
I think for me, it's not really in gaming. It's more of like a life situation. Like, again, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I mean, I would say just like in general, like one, like I used to cosplay a lot. And so the whole fucking thing with wigs and layers of fabric and maybe binding my chest if I'm cosplaying a male character, wearing various ill-fitting, uncomfortable shoes. And I definitely hit a point in like 2019 of I'm too old for this shit. And it's a big reason why I don't do it anymore. Then on the flip side, now I play a lot of gigs and I feel like half the time if I do a gig and like I'm done and afterwards I just feel like shit, it's like there's a degree of I'm too old for this shit, but then I see like my 75-year-old father is still gigging at his age, so I'm clearly not too old for this shit. So I just gotta keep doing it. But sometimes I feel like I have the enthusiasm of a 20-year-old and the back of an 87-year-old.
I get it. A bunch of nerves being shot. That's why I can only play these games in the daytime because
it just seems pointless.
I'm scared. And it's weird. I can watch horror movies, right? Like I'll watch horror movies. Shut up. I'm not looking forward to talking about that. And but it's different with games just because like I am the character and it is completely antithetical to it is anti everything that I would do in that situation. I'm not going in that fucking room. Get the fuck out of here. Like no. So, but the fact that you have to is it's different. But I think I mean there is no like you know what? The second that that I turned 40. Well, look, I knew a guy, he was in his 40s when I was in my late 30s. He said, Micah, once you I don't know what it is, but once you hit 40, your body just gives up. Like if you haven't been like active, like if you don't have that mentality, if you're not with that, your body just kind of gives up on you. It just is like, all right, man, and I don't know if you just put that in my head, but as soon as I hit 40, yeah, man, like I start to feel it. I used to run. I used to do the Army 10 miler. I used to like do a bunch of. I used to try and not be. I used to try and be active, right? Like I'm not trying to get like Jay. Speaking of midlife crises, manifesting.
Nigga just started hitting the weights.
Right. He was just like, look, I'm not getting taller. I'm gonna get wider, right? And it's never been that for me, but I've always, wanted to keep the heart pumping. But like now my knees are shot and my shins are they feel like I'm walking on glass, and it's just when I hit 40, man. When I hit 40. Games don't like do it for me as much as they used to. I used to take days off for games, man. I used to get excited. Now it's just like, all right, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm fucking tired. I'm hanging on by a thread, guys. I've been up since 5 o'clock. I had to go into work this morning. I'm hanging on by a thread right now. My eyes are glassy as shit right now.
I'm not in terrible shape, not yet. I feel like I'm getting there. Like I'll do like calisthenics and shit like that to keep shape. Game wise, I don't play difficult games. I do, but like I'm just like, you know what, you got it, dog. Like I don't. If it's too difficult, I'm like, you know what, cool. I'm not gonna beat myself up to try. I could probably do it. Could finish whatever the fuck. Like I finished Ninja Gaiden 4, right? And then I started on hard, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm good on that. So yeah, I don't push myself to finish difficult games because I don't want my blood pressure to go up anymore, like it used to. And if I'm like getting like marathon, I played a couple matches and then I kept losing and I kept having to go to the free fucking loadout. And I'm like, you know what? First of all, I can't stand looking at this. Why the fuck am I still playing this? And I just turned it off. I'm just uninstalled it. Like fuck off. I'm not, because I like the loot, but I'm not here for this. So
yeah,
I know when to quit. I know when to just like, nah, I'm good. Finally.
T-Watch asks, what game were you a whale for? For a while, I was one with the first Overwatch,
Nothing.
Smite, and
Next
Apex
question.
Legends. Yeah.
Like, because you ain't about to get me. Fuck out of here. Like, nah. No.
Oh,
The
so like
closest
spending a
thing,
lot of money on
yeah,
like a single.
yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I've not done that because I'm smart.
Me and Mike are about to get embarrassed on this.
I mean, the
Go
closest
ahead.
thing,
Spend
the closest thing that I will spend like money on that like I'm not gonna Street Fighter, right? Like I want every character. I'll buy every season pass. I'll get every costume for characters that I'm just not gonna play, but I'll get it. I'll get them just to like I don't know what it is, but I'm usually not like I don't play too many phone games, and those prices are astronomical. I'm like, no, who the fuck pays $100 for a chance at a character for loot
That's
boxes and
crazy.
shit? That's wild, man. That's wild. But they don't lower the prices, so people do it. I just
blame them. I blame those
as
people.
yeah, as like, look, I'll buy a console for one game, but I won't keep feeding a machine. I won't keep feeding money into a game. I'm dumb. I'm weird, I guess.
So I buy very little in-game like microtransactions. I've done a great job staying away from that my entire life. Like, not to say I've never bought a microtransaction in a game, but it's not often, and when I do, like, it's once in a blue moon. The sole exception to this is specifically FIFA 13, a game that I easily spent over $200 on for FIFA points.
Is that plus the initial purchase or
plus the initial
after
purchase?
the-
Yes. No, that's on top of
That's
on top
like
of the game.
$60.
Yeah.
However much it was.
Yep. So a total of 260 buying FIFA points for Ultimate Team to get as many packs as possible, to get players to sell so I could buy the better players in the auction market and stuff like that. Look, it worked. That was definitely my most successful season of FIFA-ing ever. Like, I was in the top division in Ultimate Team while I played that game. But I've never spent money like that in microtransactions that I did on that game, and that was
I'm
the only
trying
FIFA game too that I
I'm
did
trying
that
to think
with.
of anything that I did. Like when you break up fighting games, I bought all the characters for Mortal Kombat 9, but it wasn't that many. I bought all the characters
Well,
for
so
Injustice.
I
So
don't think
don't.
characters
That's not
count.
being a whale. That's just like I just want those
Yeah,
characters.
I don't think characters count. Costumes do. So like when Mike is buying
Costume, yeah, fuck
costumes and
outta here.
shit
No,
like that,
yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's that.
like I said a couple weeks ago, 2XKO, the costume packs and shit like that are like $20. Fuck
Oh
outta
well,
here.
stuff like that. See, and again,
That's what
stuff
I'm
like
talking
that.
about. I
No,
think
I
that's what
don't.
you mean. Like that's
No,
insanity.
no,
And I
stuff
think
like
the
that. I'm
most I
not doing.
ever paid for a game was probably $50, and that was Apex Legends, but that was fucking free to play.
Mhm.
And I played for like for the season passes and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that game was really fun, and I put like 400 hours in that, so it was, it was worth it. But that's about it. Anything when they're talking about like $20 for guns and all that other shit, hell no.
I did that once. I
Crap.
did that one time with Diablo 4. I bought a skin for Diablo 4, and I felt dirty afterwards. I was like, I'm
Those
never
skins
doing
look
this shit
really
again.
cool, yo. I'm
They
like,
do look cool, and then you buy, and then you buy it.
Can't do
They're
it, man.
$26. But
Right,
they
they're-
look
right,
cool
I
as
saw the price. I remember there was a skin that I was like, this looks really dope. And it said like, you got to do the dollar to points transaction. I'm like, how much is each of these points? And that shit's like 2,600 points. I'm like, how much is 2,600 points? And I look, it's $1 a point or whatever the fuck. Like
It's $1 per 100.
or
And I'm
$1
Yeah.
per
like,
100.
what
I'm
the
like, yo,
fuck?
you are bugging. There's no way in hell.
And
But
look,
people
you
keep
buy
buying
the
that shit.
thing, right? And you're like, yeah. And then you look at it in game, and you're like,
Like,
Aw. and then you have the realization that it's class specific, and you're just like,
Right.
oh.
But that's-
You be quiet for a
Really?
minute, son up.
You said you
Yes,
can't-
they're
it
class
doesn't-
specific.
Nah,
Yes.
man.
So you don't even
That's
get the
what it-
set for like each man, motherfucker.
the ones you earn through the battle pass, if you get like the paid battle pass, those can be used with
Those
any
are
class. But yeah, the
universal.
ones
Okay.
you specific, the sets you buy that have all the bling on them, those are all class specific.
Oh,
No, I blame the consumers, man. I blame them. Like,
yeah, they
that's
would not do it if they
insane.
did not hook.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, I don't get it. yo.
I mean,
That's a game. That's a game.
with the loot box stuff, I understand it to an extent. Gambling addiction is a real fucking thing, and there are people that have those
No, I'm
tendencies.
not like I get that. I'm
get
talking
that
about like
stuff.
you see a skin that you want and you pay $30 for that shit. What's wrong with you?
And
What's
again,
your
like
problem?
to your point, Terrence, like if you do it once in a free to play game, okay, like I get it. Like you want to support the developers for putting out this game, you think they should earn to get some money. For Micah, like he paid $70 for Diablo, and then they paid $26 on top of that.
He paid a little bit over 30% for a skin.
Right.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Ugh. I felt like
Diablo 4 has almost gotten me a couple times, and then I get snapped out of that as soon as I see the fucking price. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. It's
right.
like not even for the armors, but like I'll see like a cool mount, right, or like a pet that I want. I'm like, oh, it's awesome.
The fucking mounts are the same price,
Right?
what
Like the mounts are like $15. The pets, the little fucking pets that just follow you around and pick up your gold and shit, they're like $8 a piece. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. What are you guys on?
I did that once.
Ludicrous.
I felt awful.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
By the way, I will say I haven't booted it up yet, but I am ashamed to say that I did reinstall Overwatch on my PC.
No.
So
I meant to do it last week because I wanted to see how, because I
Yeah.
played the hell out of Overwatch, the first one, and apparently went back to to when it used to be good.
Yeah. Now, but again, Marathon's here now, so I probably won't end up playing it, or at least anytime soon. So, but we'll see. But I felt dirty when I did it.
You should.
Did.
You should.
Finally, because Ricky had a question, but I kind of talked about his question when I talked about F1 earlier. So we'll end with Mad Coco G, who says, Suda51 going self-publishing with Romeo as a Dead Man, and it being successful enough that is that a small sigh of relief for the gaming space, since it is a known and fan favorite game director and his studio.
I don't know about sigh of relief. I mean, it's nice to see Suda51 having success with anything because I like what he does. But it's not going to fix the overarching problems in the industry, which are the consolidation of investors and consolidation of smaller developers and smaller publishers into bigger ones. only to get shut down in many
Yeah.
cases very quickly. So I don't think it's a sigh of relief at all. It's nice to see, but the larger overarching problems in the industry are very much still there, and the success of Romeo is a Dead Man is not going to solve those problems.
I don't even know that it's going to solve it for him, because even though the game is successful by its standards, like, is it successful enough that it's going to fund his next project? Probably not, I would imagine.
I mean, who knows? He's probably someone who could get some
Sure, but
money.
then you're not truly independent, then, aren't you? Like,
Right.
if you're
No, I
relying
mean,
on funding from other sources. So
yeah, I mean, it's a game that was reviewed pretty well. I don't know how well it's sold, but I also don't know how much it cost. So who knows?
Yep.
If it broke even, he'll do another one.
or another game, at least. I don't know if he would do a sequel to
Well, no, that's what I
to
mean.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um,
Isn't
yeah. I
Kojima
mean,
independent?
say again.
Who was he under? Who was Kojima under? He's by himself.
Kojima is independent, but he signs into publishing. So with the two Death Stranding games, he signed a publishing agreement
Sony?
with Sony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To publish those games.
All right.
So, which is why they had timed exclusivity on PlayStation for both Death Stranding games. So
Yeah.
and that's the thing coming in, is like going independent is great, and it seems like that the space for that exists in that space, but like, it's easy for Hideo Kojima to go independent because he's Hideo Kojima.
Right.
Yeah,
He's the Spielberg of video games and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not gonna say it's easy for Suda51 to go independent, but people do know at least who Suda51 is. So like,
he
if
has
you're
a track record of success,
right,
generally speaking. I wish they would remake Killer 7.
It's such a bizarre game.
all of his games are fucking
I
bizarre.
was gonna say,
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
everything
saying,
else he's done.
I've heard,
Killer
I've
7,
heard,
I'm like, what the hell?
I've heard some bits and pieces about this one. Frankly, I'm surprised that Micah hasn't checked it out yet, because it seems like it might be his type
Yeah,
of
it seems
weird.
like it might be up my alley.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with what I know before I
Yeah.
that'll be another instance where you have money and it's like, oh, let me just waste it. So I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
All right.
But yeah, but to Carrie's point, I think the bigger problems that exist within the gaming space, especially in the AAA gaming space, are not going to be solved by gaming auteurs
Yeah.
going and opening independent studios.
Like,
Yeah.
Kojima and Suda51 and fucking what's his nuts, the Nier guy, Yoko Taro.
Mhm.
They're all great and they're all doing great stuff. They alone are not going to improve the industry, unfortunately. So,
Yep.
however, you should keep buying their shit because it's generally good. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll do it for another deluxe sized episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. We keep banging out these
we don't know how to stop yapping.
very large episodes. Surprised to find out, since I'm not watching wrestling, that Danhausen is in WWE, which is very weird to me.
Love that Danhausen.
Yeah,
Cool
I watched
character.
that and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know who this person is. It's pissing me off.
The best
not-
way, Terrence, the best way to describe Danhausen to you is if Vampiro and Santino Marella were combined into one character. That is basically Danhausen.
Well, that sounds awful.
He
Yeah, no
describes
thanks.
himself as what if Conan O'Brien was possessed by a demon. I have known about Danhausen for approximately 48 hours, and I am completely sold. I am so on board with Danhausen and the Ghoulhausens and him apparently cursing Dominic
thank you.
Mysterio this evening. So,
All
jars
right.
of teeth, why not? Before we wrap up, two
Man,
quick
what?
things. One, I have produced and was the project lead on a Street Fighter 2 album. It is out this weekend. It is called Lightning Kick. Pre-orders go up, I want to say Wednesday. All female, well, I should say all women, as well as some non-binary and gender fluid individuals who felt comfortable enough to join us, because women are too often overlooked in the BGM space. So I got mad and I did something about it. So that comes out on Saturday, which is the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter 2. How's your back feel, boys?
Not great.
That's 35 years.
35 years,
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2. Yep.
Wow.
A lot of good tracks
Yeah.
on it. I covered Zangief's theme. And Premium Vintage is playing in San Francisco next week. I might not be on next week's podcast accordingly because I have to practice. And we're doing that with Darren Korb, as well as all of the vocalists from Hades and Hades 2. So the vocals of Ashley Barrett and Erin Yvette and Judy Alice Lee. Those three incredibly talented ladies will be joining us in addition to Darren. So if you're in the Bay Area, get those tickets because there probably won't be many left.
Yep. And links to all that stuff in the Discord.
Yeah.
Also, I would imagine that I will be streaming both Slay the Spire 2 and Marathon over the coming weeks. So look out for that as well on Twitch. You can follow me at Scathing Hotspur, and then the VODs will be on the 10 Pixels YouTube channel after the fact. That is going to do it for us this week. Thank you all very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you all the next time.
See ya.
See ya.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.